Chelsea Football Club, or you may say £1 billion Young Boys FC, have spent over £1 billion since the arrival of new ownership led by Todd Boehly and Behzad Iqbali. And yet Chelsea finished last season at 12th, and at the time of recording this video, they sits 10th on the league table. They have lost more games in 2023 than any other Premier League side. Yes, have 7 wins and 8 losses this season out of 19 matches played. They had 2 permanent and 2 interim managers in 2023, with only one undisputed winner who did not lose a single match. But how can a side be so bad after spending more than the GDP of Nauru, Kiribati, Palau and Marshall Islands combined? That's not what we are here to discuss, albeit it's linked to that, because Chelsea Football Club have spent a hell lot of money on youngsters, and that is clearly evidenced by the fact that they have the youngest squad in the Premier League despite having 39-year-old Thiago Silva. And even half of those young talents brought under the current ownership are not yet playing for Chelsea, as most of them are on loan or currently not eligible or ready to play for the first team. If you look at the list of players signed by Chelsea under the astute, patient and calm leadership of Todd Boehly, 13 of them were teenagers when signed by the Blues, excluding the academy players. Here I have just tried to rank them from lowest to highest basis of their talent, potential and utility to the team. So here is my ranking of all the teenagers bought by Chelsea Football Club since the arrival of new ownership. 13th, Diego Moreira. Diego Moreira joined Chelsea from Benfica this summer on a free transfer and is currently on loan with Lyon from Chelsea. Moreira is left-footed but can also play on either side of the wings. Known for his blistering pace and captivating technical prowess, he likes to take on defenders and has been compared with the former Portuguese and Manchester United player Nani due to his touch of flair and skills. But he has still not shown anything special with Benfica or his current loan at Lyon, or even in pre-season with Chelsea, to put him ahead of so many technically gifted and more skilled players signed by the club even in the same window. And his loan spell is also not going so well so far, and the fact that he's playing for a club fighting relegation is also not helping him. That's why a big reason for signing him might be because he was available for free and they could have an option for the future if he developed well in the next 2-3 loan spells. Another issue if you watch him play is that he looks very raw. It's hard to say if there is any other young player signed by Chelsea who is as raw, even if the intention is to wait 1 or more years before integrating him into the first squad. He has mostly played for Benfica B team, except few minutes for the first team before signing for the Blues. So there is actually not enough data to talk about his potential and his performances. The biggest positive about him till now is that he was a wonder kid in Football Manager, like one of the very best there. Is this a bad way to explain his signing? Moreira's talent is not questionable, but what needs to be seen is how much he can improve and perform and do it at the highest level. His height is also an asset for him. He's 5'10", not short but not very tall, which can help him to roam across the pitch quickly with a low center of gravity and be more agile. He also has played fairly enough time as both a right and left winger, which can help a team in rotation and depth. 12th, Zack Stch. Zack Stch joined Chelsea from Brighton and he was the first player to move from Seagulls to Blues in 2022, which was later followed by Marco Correa, all of them, and then in this window some more players including a certain very expensive midfielder. Zack spent 13 years at Brighton Academy before joining the West London side in the summer of 2022. The 19-year-old is currently playing for Football League One side Peterborough United on loan from Chelsea. Zack Stch was a highly rated prospect in Brighton, and while a left back, he has also played as a left midfielder at a youth level with Brighton. Considered a modern left back, he can play very well as a left wing back and has been equally good in both defensive and offensive actions in his youth ranks. Pace, acceleration and dribbling have been his key strengths, and he also is very good at aerial duels. The areas where he needs a lot of improvement or is not very well are his positioning, set pieces and making crosses. But I was still not able to find enough information about his current loan spell or in general more data about him. So that's why also I was not sure to put him ahead of others. 11th, Cesar C. Now the trouble will start and you can argue in every spot from here, but it is what it is. Cesar C joined Chelsea last summer from Inter Milan at the age of just 18. It was considered a big move for the then 18-year-old, and Chelsea also, as they paid around 15 to 20 million pounds, and it was a strong desire to move due to which Inter could not stop him from leaving. Some believe Cesar C is just an overrated young signing who can never make it at a club like Chelsea, while many see him as similar to arguably the biggest icon of the club, Frank Lampard. I just wanted to use extreme takes on both sides. Cassette is regarded as one of the most promising young talents in Italy and is considered to be a modern midfielder who can play different positions on the pitch and has both technical and physical abilities which can make him a top midfielder. He can play on either side of the midfield in a central midfielder role, but can also play as an attacking midfielder or in some cases a defensive midfielder. Players like Barella, Brozovic, Nainggolan, Zanetti and Valverde are some of the big names Cassette is hugely inspired by and believes he has some similarities with these players. What also makes him a great prospect is that he is a great finisher and has a clear instinct in front of the box. which might be the key reason for Lampard comparisons. While passing and attacking attributes are excellent, he needs a lot of work to do on defensive actions to succeed as a top centre midfielder in the Premier League, a league that demands a lot of physicality and intensity. They're not poor but still need to be much better to play at the highest level. 10th, Omari Hinson. Omari Hinson started his youth career at Chelsea in 2008 and was released twice before joining Charlton in 2012. In 2015, he joined Arsenal, where he stayed till last year before coming back to Chelsea. He joined Ipswich Town this summer on loan from Chelsea and so far has scored 2 goals in 21 appearances. Omari also has 2 caps for Jamaica national team after he switched his nationality from England national team for regular playing time in international games. Omari is a winger and can also play as an attacking midfielder. Before joining Chelsea, Omari was regarded as a huge talent by Arsenal, and the North London side also tried to keep him with them, but he decided to move to the west side of London in the hope of getting into their first team in the near future. When you see him play, it becomes pretty obvious that he is a technically gifted player, but it has to be seen how much he can do better on pace and play with intensity. Omari also contributes off the ball. He is a very good presser, and his off-ball actions in Ipswich Town have also helped him adapt to their system very quickly and became a key part of McKenna's side this season. He has been a very ambitious player from a very young age, and his move to Arsenal Academy after leaving Charlton and then coming back to Chelsea last year was also in that direction. His loan spell is also going well, and that's not just his performances but also the way coach McKenna is using him, keeping his promise for his role in his side. But even with all these, it was a bit hard to put him ahead of 9 others listed here, because I believe most of them have more talent than him and many of them are already part of the first team. 9th, David Washington. Coming from Santos, he's another highly rated attacker from its academy. Washington has scored 2 goals in 9 appearances for Santos, and then he arrived at Chelsea this summer, joining the list of Brazilian teenagers coming to Chelsea. And just like what you can expect from a South American star, he's more than a target man. Apart from goals, he's excellent in dribbling, link-up play, dropping deep, and even in pressing. But most importantly, he's an excellent finisher. He can shoot from long range and has a good positioning sense at such a young age. And he's 6'2". His height also helps him in aerial duels and scoring headers. He can offer to Chelsea what Jackson gives, but in addition to that, more in physicality, ball carrying, and most important, finishing. He, like many others on this list, is currently not ready for the first team action, but the talent and potential are clearly visible, and I strongly believe that in 1 or 2 years he can break into the first team and can do a pretty good job even if as a backup. Now the key is the pathway Chelsea is providing for his development. 8th, Gabriel Solina. Gabriel Solina joined Chelsea in August 2022 from the MLS club Chicago Fire. Solina is currently playing for Belgian club KS Eupen on loan and is considered to be one of the most highly rated youngsters by people within Chelsea. They believe in next 2-3 years he can become one of the best goalkeepers in the world. And in an area where Chelsea are yet to settle since the departure of Thibaut Courtois in 2018. Solina may spend more time on loan with other clubs to get more regular playing time and continuous development. And Solina is rated not just by Chelsea, but has been hailed as a wonderkid by many outside of Chelsea and US. Solina was the only goalkeeper to be named in goals NXG and top 50 list of most talented teenagers in 2022 as well as in 2023. He made his debut for Chicago Fire in August 2021 when he was 17 years old and became the youngest goalkeeper in the history of MLS. And before joining Chelsea, he was on the radar of many clubs, including Real Madrid, who were keen to sign him. But in the end, it was Chelsea who won the race for American wonderkid. Solina's profile is unique to anyone else on this list, as he is the only goalkeeper here, and even compared with other wonderkids or young talents, there are only a handful of goalkeepers who can come close to Solina. He has already become the part of US national team with 1 cap for his country so far and made 1 excellent save on his debut. He is 6'4" tall, has really good reflexes and short stopping ability. His reflexes are one of his biggest strengths, because of which he has been compared with Italian great Buffon by former US goalkeeper Tony Meola. He has not shown similar excellence in the passing area so far, but he's still 19 and doesn't hesitate to play from the back and can work on this part too. His positioning at such a young age is remarkable, although there is room for improvement and he can do better in decision making, which again comes with time. Solina has already made 15 appearances for the Belgian side this season and he's getting mixed reviews for his current performances. Given the fact that he's playing for a team fighting relegation, his overall stats were likely to be not very good even if he's performing well. But from Chelsea's point of view, the priority was to play him in European League and get as many minutes as possible, which he is getting there. And all the signs he has shown with his performances and his attitude, he looks to be a star goalkeeper for years to come, as long as you remove the American stereotype. 7th, Angelo Gabriel. Angelo joined Chelsea this summer from Santos. He had an impressive preseason and then joined Strasbourg Chelsea-owned club on loan, where he has been simply sensational. And what is more impressive is that it does not surprise anyone. He was considered a huge talent in Santos from quite early. He joined Santos Academy in 2015 and at the age of 15 he was playing for their under-20 side. Angelo made his debut for the senior team in 2020 when he was just 16, become the youngest player in the history of Santos, surpassing Rodrigo and Pele. He is also the youngest player to score in Copa Libertadores history. When he left Santos for Chelsea at the age of 18, he already had made 95 appearances in the league for the Brazilian side. His main strengths are his mesmerizing dribbling skills and lightning pace, qualities that become evidently clear when you witness his gameplay. Angelo contributes heavily to chance creation and assists, and even they come more through his dribbling. Despite his young age, Angelo is not afraid from physical battle. His solid 5'9" frame allows him to hold his own against bigger defenders and perform in a high-intensity environment. The goal scoring has been an area where he has underperformed till now. Even after making over 100 appearances for Santos in all competitions, he just scored 5 goals. And the same is happening at Strasbourg too, where he is brilliant in everything else but not coming on the score sheet. I'm not sure if such low goal numbers are mainly due to bad finishing or the role he plays, but for a forward, this can be still an issue, and that's why not putting him further ahead in this list. 6th, Leslie Oguchukwu. Came from Rennes Academy, Leslie made his debut for the senior team in 2021 at the age of 17. He joined Chelsea from French side this summer on a 7-year contract, called by Manny as next Patrick Vieira, and has also been compared with Marcel Desailly in the past. Primarily a defensive midfielder, but can also play as a central midfielder. He is 19 and already made over 60 appearances for Rennes before joining Chelsea. Leslie is very solid with defensive actions, a traditional kind of defensive midfielder, especially excellent in tackling and is relentless ball winner. With a height of 6'3", he is aerially dominant as well. He is particularly brilliant in blocking shots and can be like an immovable wall against an opposition attack. He is also a good passer, especially with long pass success rates. If you have seen him in a Chelsea shirt, it is apparent that he is still not ready for Chelsea yet, but he has huge potential provided we do not hinder his development, just like 100 other young players. And I also like his profile, and from Chelsea's context, I find him more similar to Matic than anyone else. 5th, Malag Gusto. Malag Gusto signed for Chelsea in the January transfer window, but joined the Blues in summer, staying with Lyon till the summer on loan. Malo primarily is brought in by Chelsea as a backup for Reece James, and considering James' injury record, his availability becomes important for the club. And he has already made 12 appearances in the league out of a possible 19, especially when he had missed some of the matches due to suspension and injury. Malag Gusto is a versatile player known for his agility and attacking instincts. He had played in various positions throughout his youth career, including midfielder, forward and right winger. It was in his later years at the academy that he was settled on at the right back, where he could fully harness his talents to both defend and contribute to the attack. Just like Reece James, he also offers flexibility as a right back and can play as a right centre back in a back 3, a right back in a back 4 and a right wing back, which can also let both him and Reece play together. From the stats, he is very poor in tackles. Well, I do agree that he needs to do better in tackles, but I'm not sure if these stats are showing the correct picture, because he's not that bad in that area, but just not as good as you expect from a good right back. And in my view, he's actually doing better defensively than in attack, which is also the opposite of what everyone expected of him when he signed for us. He had shown some really solid defensive performances in the Premier League this season. His brilliance in 1v1 defending is evident from his performances with some of the best forwards in the league. His positioning, interceptions and work rate also show how elite right back he can become if progresses well. And in attack, I feel he's not that fast, but he's a really good crosser, able to build chemistry with forwards very quickly and can improve more on shooting. His performance against Crystal Palace was a great example of how good he is in crosses and link-up play with the forwards, and how good he is on the ball too, and he was quick also. He does not make rush passes and is good at press assistance, and how much he can contribute in attack can be understood from the fact that in League 1 last season, he ranked highest in 3 separate zones down the right-hand side for the expected threats from open play. That's why I see him as a very promising player. He has just arrived at the Premier League, turned 20 in the summer, and has been decent so far. But it's not wrong to suggest that he will be able to do much better with time, and can be one of the best right backs in the world, whether here or anywhere else. But he has those qualities and also that mentality, that attitude and passion. 4th, Kendre Chukwuemeka. It would not be wrong to put him in the top 3 of all these 13 players, but I had a hard time putting him ahead of any of those 3, and you know, the English tax works both ways. Chukwuemeka joined Chelsea in 2022 summer window from Aston Villa when he was 18. He has been regarded as one of the brightest talents in England from his time in Aston Villa Academy. Chukwuemeka is a central midfielder but can also play as a defensive midfielder or as an attacking midfielder. He made his debut for Aston Villa's first team at the age of 17 in August 2021. His first start came against Brentford in the same month, and his performance impressed Paul Merson so much that he predicted Kendre to be an absolute star in the future. He made some appearances in the last season for Chelsea, and this season he started to become a key part of the squad, and even scored an amazing goal against West Ham but got injured in the same match and is yet to come back from that injury. What separates him from many other young midfielders, especially the central midfielders, is how much press resistant he is and also his ball carrying ability. And like any other young player, he can get so much better in these areas. Plus his technical ability and physical strength can develop him as one of the best number 8s in Europe. His passing is also an underrated part of his game, not to mention his ball control and involvement in the build-up. Defensively, he is definitely not so good. Even for a central midfielder, similarly would need more on pressing. I have not seen him doing so well in set pieces also, but again we have seen him play in a Chelsea shirt for a very limited time, so apart from his defensive actions, I don't see any significant weakness, at least from what we have seen so far. But all in all, he surely is a huge talent, and I think his best position is 8, where he can be a game changer. Third, Andre Santos. Came from Vasco da Gama Youth Academy. Andre Santos joined their senior team in 2021 at the age of just 17 and quickly became popular in the Brazilian league. Just after a year, Andre Santos was on the wish list of many European heavyweights and was ultimately signed by Chelsea in 23 winter transfer window for £13 million. FC Barcelona, who missed out on him that time, still holds an interest in the Brazilian star and believes that they still have a chance to get him if Chelsea continues to fill their squad with new midfielders. But what makes him so desirable? Andre Santos is considered as a central midfielder, but can play anywhere in a midfield. A modern midfielder, he excels in ball carrying, link-up play, tackle success rate, short passing and duels. He also has excellent ball control, vision and positioning. Andre scored 8 goals in 37 starts for Vasco da Gama and 8 goals in 16 starts for Brazilian under-20 team. And in most of these matches, he was playing a number 6 or a number 8 role, and yet produced these numbers, which you generally find in the case of attacking midfielders and wingers. And none of these limits his defensive attributes. He is far from becoming a key player for any big club, and his current loan spell with Forest is definitely not less than a disaster, but I still see him as one of the most talented players of his age and just need time to adapt to the first team before grabbing headlines. Second, Romeo Lavia. After Chelsea's long pursuit of Moises Caicedo this summer, Lavia was a very unlikely signing for Chelsea, especially when they already secured a young talented defensive midfielder in Leslie Ogochukwu. But after Caicedo, Chelsea went on to sign Romeo Lavia for £53 million plus add-ons. And it happened not because of this, but after a big push by the head scout Joy Shields, who has been taking him wherever he goes, first City, then Southampton and now Chelsea. Lavia joined Chelsea from Southampton, who were relegated to Championship in the last season. At the start of the season, Pochettino wanted him to get ready with separate training or I don't know what, before joining the first team as he missed out the pre-season and joined the Blues very late. But in September, he suffered a muscle injury and able to make his debut only on Wednesday night 27 December 23 against Crystal Palace, almost 4 months after joining them. Considering so many injuries the Blues are already facing, they can only wish he does not join the ranks of Reece James and Wesley Fofana for regular visitors. Talent-wise, Romeo Lavia is regarded as one of the most talented and gifted midfielders in Europe, and might even have a higher ceiling than most other midfielders in the league. According to Anderlecht's site of academy, Gene Kindermans, Lavia's best position is as a deep-lying playmaker, as he can deliver passes and is always calm on the ball. Lavia's views is similar, as he considers Sergio Busquets and Fernandinho as his inspiration. Lavia thrives in high-pressure situations, winning the ball back with smart tackles, grit, and burst of speed. He is also skilled in making line-breaking passes, and he is not just a ball winner, he is a threat going forward too. His dribbling skills and line-breaking passes can turn defense into attack in a flash. In the last season, Lavia was among the most accurate midfielders in the Premier League, with an accuracy-adjusted pass completion rate of 84%. He is still very young, and I believe that he has not even shown half of his potential yet. He can be a great orchestrator as a holding midfielder, and even with Southampton, he did show that very well. His passing, ability to receive and move the ball in tight spaces, defending and positioning, and ball carrying ability, he has it all to become one of the very best defensive midfielders in the world. And what makes him a better prospect for an elite DM is his press resistance and his progressive passes. He's also very good at winning duels, including aerial duels. He needs more experience, composure, and technical surroundings, I would say, would also help a lot for a player of his style and talent to reach the top. And what impresses me a lot more about him is that I don't think stats do enough justice to him, because when you see him play, then you will realize he's a much better prospect and doing a lot well in many areas than you see from stats. If there is any other young midfielder who shows glimpses of Busquets, it's him. I'm not saying he can definitely be him, but I do believe there are some similarities and the kind of player he would love to be. Obviously, hard to expect him or anyone to be as calm and be able to slow down the game like Busquets, but I still see similarities and the comparison is not absurd. Number 1. Kendre P. Aged 16 and playing for Ecuadorian side Independiente del Valle, Kendre P has signed for Chelsea this summer and will join the Blues in 2025. He is currently 16 and will become a Chelsea player after turning 18. But even at such a young age, he is already a popular name in South America and now in Europe too. Kendre P has the potential to be one of the best left-footed players in the world. If you watch him play, you will not like to blink your eye at him. He is that good. and one of the most talented and best young players I have ever seen. Pace is a versatile midfielder who can play in various positions including central midfield, attacking midfield and on the wings where he generally plays. He is known for his technical ability, his dribbling skills and his vision. His numbers in big chance created and key passes per match are an absolute joke. And now he's also adding goal scoring to his arsenal before joining Chelsea. I'm sorry, with his all-around super attacking attributes and a just level above exceptional natural flair he has, I just can't see any of the rest having more talent than him. And the fact he's just 16 makes it far more astonishing, impressive, exciting, and I don't know what else. I know it might be too early, he's yet to arrive in Europe, but his talent is immense and very unlikely to expect a talent like this don't reach heights in his career. Alright, that was my ranking of all the teenagers bought by Chelsea Football Club under the young boys hand led by Todd Boehly and Vedad Iqbali. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments if you disagree with any of my ranking. Thank you for staying till the end and I hope you have a nice day. Bye.